please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Alhamdulillahi hadina li hadza wa ma kunna linahtadi laula anna hadina Allahul awwalul akhir waz zakhir wal batin. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbahi wa jalalu wajhika wa aziman sultanika. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin khatimin nabiyina wa imamil mursalin. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.
Ameen. Shukran, Imam. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Gracious and eternal Father, we continue to thank you for your goodness, your mercy, your grace and your love for all your creation throughout the whole world. We continue to thank you especially for this nation, the Gambia. We thank you for the TRRC and for the work that we are doing here in this commission. As we continue our sitting, Lord, we continue to pray for the witnesses that will be coming forth today, that you will grant each and every one of them to come here and speak the truth, and that you grant the commission the discerning spirit to be able to discern between truth and falsehood. And Lord, we now depend upon you as a nation, that you will grant justice to all. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Imam Bishop. Council, are we ready with the witness this morning? If so, please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. Could you kindly bring in the witness, please?
Thank you.
I, Veronique Carriol,
I, Veronique Carriol,
do swear that
I'll
speak the truth,
I will speak the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Good morning, Veronique.
Good morning, Council Fall.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Thank you.
Thank you for your willingness to appear before the Commission. You're being called today to testify mainly about your arrest and detention at the NIA some time ago. I know that you have a lot to talk about, some of which are quite interesting and very important to you, but those are issues that are outside the mandate of the Commission. And I do believe that you have other areas or institutions which you can resort to for the purposes of getting justice with regards to those other issues, especially the land issues affecting yourself and your family. So the Commission would not go into those things for the purposes of this hearing, but you can always resort to other institutions in order to get justice with regards to those. So for the purposes of this hearing, we would limit ourselves to the arrests you have been subjected to in the past. Are we together?
Yes, please, we are.
Thank you very much. What are your full names, Veronique?
Veronique Carriol,
What is your date of birth?
April 28, 1963.
Would you briefly give us your biographical information? But in the meantime, perhaps you should allow at least 3 seconds between our speeches so that the interpreters would be able to complete the interpretation. Could you give us briefly your biographical information, where you went to school and the dates?
I went to school in Banjul, St. Joseph's Primary School. Then from there, I went to St. Joseph's Senior Secondary School to do my O levels. From there, I went to St. Augustine's High School, where I did my A levels. I completed in 1984, and I joined the then Customs and Excise Department up to 1996, when I was first arrested and taken before Justice Patricia Macaulay, either Justice Patricia Macaulay or Robin Coker, either or, for land issue, which lasted for 48 months. I was exonerated. I was reinstated with full salary, and I continued work up to September 9th or 15th, 2014, when my boss that time wrote on Kibaro newspaper to write against, sorry.
We would come to that later, but just give us your progression in the service.
In the
service.
Customs.
Yes.
Okay. After joining in 1984 with Samba Jom, Ndur Cham, Dawdali, a couple of my colleagues who were together with me in sixth form, we all joined together at Customs. And our boss that time, was it Mr. Savage, also said they have an intention of like training some of us who they feel would be somebody else there within the department, because like they lacked capacity there, so they want to build our capacity so that we will help them tomorrow, as they saw us as young breeds who can help our seniors. We embraced.
You were basically head-hunted as potential senior officers, and you were brought into the service to be trained to become the future leaders of the Customs Department. Is that what you suggested?
Exactly.
And you indeed rose through the ranks, didn't you?
I did.
And after you were reinstated into the service after that commission of inquiry, you continued to rise in Customs, didn't you?
I did, and they brought some trainers from UK on capacity building that trained us at GTTI. Yeah, GTTI. That included us with our seniors that time, and their intention was to take some of us that were first, second, third, fourth, fifth, up to sixth for outside training.
Did you undergo any outside training?
Internally, they brought resource persons from UK.
So, did you pursue any academic training post your A levels?
I did here in Gambia with the Customs UK at MDI, and I think it was MDI or defeat or so that we had resource persons from that trained us.
So you had training on the job, and you also had training on customs matters.
Exactly.
But you did not pursue any academic qualification post advanced level?
No.
So you do not hold a degree in any discipline?
No, I don't.
Okay, good. So, but nonetheless, you continue to rise in customs, correct?
I did.
What is the highest position you had attained?
Deputy Commissioner Enforcement.
Okay. And that was the last position you attained, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what are the responsibilities of Deputy Commissioner?
As the Deputy Commissioner Enforcement, we used to call it JACA, but like time goes on, we changed it to Deputy Commissioner Enforcement. The JACA was like internal auditor. Just for the average layman to understand, it would be the internal auditor that has eyes, ears, and whatnot.
It's like the oversight mechanism within the customs itself.
Yes, borders, Banjul, whatnot, the Gambia customs. So, I mean, you are checking on their faults, failures, and whatnot, trying to guide them. So,
it's to ensure that the systems, policies, and procedures are implemented.
Correct.
How long were you in that position?
I think for 7 or 10 years.
And according to the hierarchy at the time, where would you place yourself?
Would I say second or third in command?
Of the entire Gambia Customs Authority, or Gambia, what's the full name again?
Customs and Excise
Customs
Department.
and Excise Department at the time.
Yes, because we have 3 deputy commissioners, then we have the commissioner.
Who was your boss at the time?
Yankuba Dabo, who is presently the Commissioner General.
Of Customs. But at the time, there was no GRA?
No, it was not GRA. It was Customs and Excise.
Okay. When did you leave the service?
September, is it 29th or 30th, 2014.
Why did you leave? Let me, are you able to go ahead, Vera?
I will try.
Yes, if you need to stop, if you need to stop, please do let us know, and then we would stop. And feel free also, if you think that a particular question you do not wish to answer, just let me know, and then we take it from there. This is about your own victimization, and we are here to give you the opportunity to talk about it in a very fair manner, being fair to you and to everybody involved. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Good. All right. You were arrested sometime in 2014, correct?
Yes, I was.
Could you tell us the background leading to this arrest, as far as you know?
My boss, Yankuba Dabo, whom I had earlier mentioned, had instructed me by way of memo that I should write a list of all the unpaids. I saw the memo. Being somebody I am, an elder person within the department, considering that he was taken from underneath and brought up, I told him, "Sir, sa memo bi dina taal kër bi de." Meaning, if we are to follow that memo, kër bi dina taaga. He took.
Just to take you back a little bit, and pardon me for interjecting now and again, we just need to set the record straight and have a good understanding of everything. You said Yankuba Dabo was taken from underneath.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
We were senior to him. But with Yahya Jammeh's time, anything can happen. So he was brought up as the commissioner. I think in Njogoba's time it was two titles: Deputy Commissioner General and Head of Customs. It was an abnormal, like,
okay.
title also.
You do not think that that promotion should have happened. That's your position, correct?
If I were to advise the president or authorities that time, I would have identified other people that I feel would have sat in that chair well.
You, at the time, you had A-level certificate, correct?
Yes.
And do you know whether Mr. Dabo also has an A-level certificate?
At the time of his appointment, no, it wasn't. But he had developed himself at was it St. Mary's?
I can confirm to you that he had A-level certificate.
At the time of the appointment.
No, he also had an MBA.
Exactly.
At that time he was appointed. So, and you would accept that at that time, with an MBA from England, he would have been one of the most qualified people within the service, correct?
Well, there was somebody.
The issue is...
Not, to my own knowledge, not the most. Because why I said so, we had Malamin Sanyang Tonji, who had gone to Australia, or who had gone abroad to a customs university and was senior to him. Actually, Malamin was he Commissioner of Customs or Commissioner General? So if you are to take, I feel we should have retained Malamin and Yankuba understudy him, because customs work, you don't bring somebody underneath and allow him or her to lead without passing through some departments.
But would you agree that, like you, you spent your entire career in customs, correct?
Exactly.
But do you agree that Yankuba also spent his entire career in customs?
Correct.
And he entered the service from the moment he finished high school.
Correct.
Up to date, he is still serving, correct?
Exactly.
So
That's
he
correct.
would be one of the most experienced customs officers in the Gambia, correct?
Exactly.
And
That's possible.
And with his MBA, he also is one of the most educated customs officers, correct?
Exactly, that is correct.
And with being one of the most educated and being one of the most experienced, he would definitely be one of the most seasoned customs officers we would have in this country, correct?
Exactly, correct. One of the most.
And you agree that if Tonji was to be appointed as Director General, perhaps Yankuba should be the person to understudy him.
Exactly.
With the view to what? To ultimately him being Director General, correct?
That's exactly correct, sir.
So your complaint, therefore, is that maybe he was made Director General a little too soon.
That's the point I am making.
But you would also agree that whether it was too soon or too late, he was still qualified for the position.
He was indeed qualified.
Thank you very much. So, just on that particular issue also, it is the prerogative of the president, isn't it, under the rules, to appoint anybody qualified to that particular position.
Exactly.
And you agree that Yankuba was qualified?
He was.
Okay. So now let's move on to what happened subsequently that led to your arrest.
There was a paper, Kibaro newspaper, that wrote, specifically writing my name, attacking my personality, my identity, and making false allegations against me. I read about it and just said, well, as a public servant, they can say anything. It's to be proven.
And undoubtedly, you are not happy with what they wrote.
I wasn't, not at all.
And how did you come to learn about that article?
A friend of mine in UK forwarded it in my inbox. I read it, then I texted him back. I said, I know the author. He said, you know the author? I said, yes, I know the author. But, I mean, I haven't done anything wrong. I don't see any reason why he should come and write to the media about me as a civil servant. If I had done anything wrong, we have GO and FI. Let him or her query me, and I will respond. So I think I went to his office, Mr. Dabo's office.
Let's take it a bit step by step. Did you yourself read the article?
Yes, I read it.
And if you see a copy of that article again, you'd be able to recognize it.
I will.
Take a look at this document.
That is the very article.
Could you kindly read out the title?
Deputy Commissioner, Enforcement at Customs Department exposed.
And could you tell us from the article what are some of the accusations that have been made against you?
Harassing and blackmailing businessmen and their agents. I was unloyal to President Jammeh. Everybody within the department is afraid of me. I should not be in the department. Yeah, these are some of the things I've...
Mr. Chair, we'd ask, well, maybe I should do it later because these are two documents, so I'd put them in together at a later stage. This article was brought to your attention by somebody in the UK. You read it, you decided not to do anything about it. What happened next?
I went to his office.
To whose office?
Mr. Yankuba Dabo's office, the then Deputy CG and Head of Customs. There were two titles to him. I told him, sir, this is what they have written on Kibaro newspaper, but I mean, I would not say anything about it because Yahya Jammeh's regime or whatnot, I dare not say anything. But whatever, one day I will find out who wrote this, and I will take legal action.
At that stage, did you know who wrote the article?
Did who know me?
Yes. Did you at that stage know who wrote the article?
Well, I highly suspected it was him, Yankuba Dabo.
What was your basis for that suspicion?
Because the basis of my suspicion was, prior to that, he had instructed me to write a memo of all the unpaids. And I told him, sir, li dina tal kirmi, why fake yakowa dina ko def, meaning like, since you had instructed me and it's in black and white, as a civil servant, I will do it. But I was not the one who was sitting on that chair. It was Abdou MC Jallo who was sitting on that chair, who was supposed to collect all those monies. You are giving me a heavy burden. It would be difficult to collect it, but I'll try my level best.
Was it within his responsibilities to instruct you to write that memo?
Yes, he was head of the institution and my immediate line manager.
Was it part of customs work for that type of memo to be written?
Yes, it was. And he had directed it to the correct unit, which is the enforcement unit.
And therefore, in your estimate, from what you have said, he acted properly?
Exactly, he did.
Okay. So, having acted properly as your boss, why would you now suspect that he's the one who wrote this article attacking you?
Why I suspected he was the one that wrote, two or 3 days before he traveled to Dakar, I told him, sir, memo bi munge isi wade. Now I have also given it to Abdou Jallo, who occupied the seat before, and he had signed because, as I said in Wolof, lidu tegu ci sama bopa bi man kena. It's a department, and we should all shoulder it. Some have moved in other departments, but the responsibility is still customs responsibility. So Abdou has signed, let us collectively collect these monies.
What I am struggling to understand is why would he instruct you to write a memo? But anyway, let me take it a step backwards. Did you write that memo as instructed?
I did.
And the memo, who signed the memo?
Abdou Jallo, because by then he was acting as Commissioner of Customs, because by then Yankuba had traveled to Senegal. He was overseeing, Abdou Jallo was overseeing.
And where is Abdou Jallo presently?
He died.
So he is late.
Rest in peace.
Amen.
Yes, yes.
Amen. So, was there anything that was wrong in that process, apart from your expectation that some people will not be happy about the memo?
When I saw the memo, and I know the office or department had not been audited for how many years, the memo being addressed to me, I said, what a burden, because it would be difficult to collect all those monies. And I mean, Abdou, as I said, may his soul rest in peace, was not like using the computer. And we were using Asikuda as a tool to help us in our job.
The question what I'm trying to get out of you is, you said you suspected that it was Mr. Dabo who wrote the article.
No, let me learn.
Okay, please, go ahead.
Because why I said so, had it been, I was the one writing the memo, or the head that time, we would have been using Asikuda to help us. We would not have landed ourselves in having unpaid declarations. Because when you say unpaid declaration, those goods have arrived. They were taken by the owner. So where was customs? Where was the Deputy Commissioner Enforcement? If he was checking the computer or doing his work, it would not have led to that. That's why I said, I mean, although they were working, but like sleeping, I would say. So that memo that Yankuba wrote, it will boomerang back on him. But we have to do it.
Okay. But was Yankuba aware that that memo would boomerang on him?
New broom, if I could say, new broom sweeps well. So I told him, no problem, sir, because why would I not do it?
So the boomerang would have been on him, Yankuba, as the head of customs.
Exactly.
Okay. So why would he then now write something to attack you?
Because the failure of him that time, you have 3 deputy commissioners. Why would you sit with one and not sit with 3 of them together? So that at least you will hear what each and every one of them are saying to advise you. We were your lieutenants. But you did not.
But what I am trying to understand is your basis for your suspicion that the article was written by Yankuba and not somebody else.
Council, as a department, when I talk to you, the way we talk or do you write, if I go to Basse or whatnot, I see a writing or whatnot, I may say, Li Esala, or Li Fatula, or Li Mademba. We all know each other.
Okay, so your complaint is based on a suspicion that it was written by Yankuba, correct? And,
Exactly.
And that is on the basis of the way you think he talks.
And rights.
And writes. At what stage did you realize that?
Oh, when I was incarcerated at the NIA, at night, around 2 or 1, somebody woke me and said, Kaima Mela Lena, Diu Sangam, and called his name. Lumbina si kibaro, ak lumbina si ñun suñ evidence be. Yep bena la cut and paste.
Okay, so so that is your basis for
The 2.
for arriving at the conclusion that it was done by Mr. Dabo.
Exactly.
But did you have the privilege of holding the 2 documents to make the comparison yourself?
Yes, as I told you, somebody at the NIA gave it to me and showed it to me and told me Buko Waken.
And you had the 2 documents and you compared them.
Yes.
And they were word for word or similar?
The T, the I, exactly cut and paste.
But how is that possible? Are you suggesting, therefore, that when Mr. Dabo wrote his statement at the NIA, he had the draft Hibaro paper and copied from it?
No, it was the same individual that wrote on Kibaro that when they arrested me on the first day, when I slept at NIA the first night, the following night, when they took me to Liz, I told him, Liz, bul sonal sa bopa, oyal Yankuba nga laaj ko, lan la def, be muma isi si yen, ngeen xamne man Yaya Jammeh suma tiye na ma rendi. They called him, he wrote cut and paste.
But what I am trying to drive at is the statement that is attributed to Yankuba and the Hibaro article is basically verbatim, it's the same, correct?
Exactly.
But don't you think that Mr. Dabo would be stupid to do that? Because it would be really exposing him if he were to write a statement that is identical with the Kibaro article. He would be giving away himself.
And that's what he did, sir, counsel.
Okay. So your promise to him when you went to his office was that you would take this person to court.
Exactly.
When you discover who this person was. Okay. So subsequent to that, when were you arrested?
I was arrested when we went to Kanilai. Was it on a we went to Kanilai on a Friday.
You do what?
Farm.
On whose farm?
Actually,
On whose farm?
Yeah, Jammeh's farm.
Do you own a farm?
I cannot farm.
And what did you go to do in Kanilai?
Follow the crowd, Because my presence there, I cannot go or do whatever.
But why did you have to go there?
Because that was my first time of going, and I was head of Deputy Commissioner Enforcement. It falls within my purview. So I said,
It fell within your purview to go to Kanilai and farm?
No, Deputy Commissioner, I was coordinating.
Coordinating what? Collection of customs duties?
No.
What were you coordinating?
The staff, they are feeding and whatnot.
Does government feed customs officers?
Yes, we were feeding ourselves. We were feeding ourselves when
Where?
From our own votes.
Where?
Government vote, customs department.
Feeding yourselves where?
When we go to Kanilai, we take along.
Why, what business does customs have to do with being in Kanilai?
Council, that one, what would I say? We were forced, I was forced to.
Tell
like
it
any
as
other,
it is.
That's why I said I was forced like any other person, because they've been going for the past, would I say 7 or 8 years, I was not going. Then, you know, within our family.
Where were they going for the past 7, 8 years, as you suggest?
To Kanilai, but I wasn't going.
To do what in Kanilai?
Farm.
Using their pens, that's what their civil servants were known for? Or they plowing, using tractors as well?
That's why I said I cannot even farm.
So what were you doing there?
Sit around. Topa mbolo mi rek.
You said you were forced. We want to understand the environment,
Yeah,
how that happened.
Why I said I was forced, because when I was at ports or those other postings, I never went. But when I was transferred to enforcement, I said, wow, biduma muna richa. Because
Why is that?
yeah, because those other postings and whatnot, you have liberty not to go or whatnot. But coordinating it and not going, he will say, kid of my bany, kid of my
Was it part of your official responsibilities to be corralling farmers for the president?
They will send you
forcibly.
They will send you a memo. So when I came,
Have you ever received such a memo?
yes, when I came, I told, it was Ansumana Tarawale, I told him, sir, this memo, I will not write it as before. I will ask whoever wants, let them.
So you wrote the memo?
Yes.
And what did you say in the memo?
To get people that volunteered voluntarily. And if we don't get the limit of people that we wanted, then I'll take other people's name and tell them to come in and join. Because some if you don't write their names, they say, hey, you've been lost matur, put them Kanilai. Some we are willing.
So you were not forced?
Well, I was forced, but as the head of the unit, I have to go. Although I never liked it.
Did you go voluntarily or did you feel compelled to go?
Yes, exactly. I was compelled because it's the job.
Tell me whether I am wrong. Wasn't it the case that everybody, all of you, wanted to show super loyalty to Yaya Jammeh and you was all eager to go? Tell me if I am wrong.
Say that again, sir.
I am putting out there a broad proposition. Identify the problems in that proposition. Tell me where it is wrong. Was it not the case that these senior civil servants wanted to demonstrate super loyalty to Yaya Jammeh, and they were all eager to go and farm in Kanilai, even though they couldn't even cut grass in their homes?
Not all civil servants, sir. Not all.
And how many would you estimate? The top echelon, they wanted to go?
Yeah, most of them wanted to go. And some, even if you don't write their names, they'll come and tell you, Abinu Rosmatur. So those ones are the ones I will write their names first to get the number of people that they wanted, because they'll ask us in the memo 400, need 300. So if we don't get that amount, we'll try and ask some people, this time we will write your name, next time we'll write somebody else's name. But there are some, every Kanilai going, they must go.
Okay. And some were forced.
I was.
So you are one of those top officers who were forced,
Exactly.
but there were top officers who were willing.
Exactly.
Okay. So you went to Kanilai, and what happened after that?
Before going to Kanilai, I went to my friend's house. I told her, I am supposed to go to Kanilai. I may be arrested there, I may not be.
Why did you think you'd be arrested?
Because of this memo.
What was the situation at the time with regards to memos of this nature? Or
No, not the memo, I
documents
mean
of-
the
yes,
Kibar.
articles of this nature.
Exactly. To get the attention of Yaya Jammeh, I mean, Kibaro knew that Yaya will come after me, especially when they wrote here Langtombong Tamba's name together with loyalty. And
The article suggested that your loyalty was to Langtombong Tamba.
no, the article said I was not loyal to the state.
Yes, but who were you loyal to?
If not the government of the Gambia.
Did it not say that you were loyal to Langtombong Tamba instead of Yaya Jammeh?
That's what I'm trying to read, whether it was specifically.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, the second
Paragraph.
Exercising personal loyalty to jailed former army chief Langtombong Tamba.
So you
Who
believe
perso-
that that statement would evoke Yaya Jammeh's anger?
Exactly, because by that time, Lang was in jail, and anything to attract Yaya Jammeh that time, write about anybody who he had left in jail.
So you became apprehensive that you may be arrested.
Yes,
So what happened after, when you went to Kanilai, did the people farm, the customs officers?
we did not. We hired a room, sat with our air conditioner.
You hired a room. What do you mean by that?
I rent Sindola. Sindola you have to pay.
So you had to pay. Who owned Sindola at the time?
I think it's him,
Him who?
President Jammeh.
So he forced you to come to his farm, and you had to pay to stay in his hotel, and then you farm for him for free. Is that what you're telling us?
And that's what I did.
And how many officers did you go with from customs? How many officers did you go with from customs?
That time, mostly we used to go with 50.
And all
But-
those 50 were accommodated, weren't they?
No, the hotel, we were about 6 or 7 in that room.
But it was paid for.
That room, yes,
By who?
myself.
From your own
Because
pocket or
I
from
needed
customs
a shield.
money?
I needed a shield when they are arresting me for somebody to identify that these people came to arrest her, you know.
Or you were expecting that you'd...
Yeah.
But was accommodation provided for free to those who came to farm for Yaya Jammeh?
They call it, that area, oh my God. Is it not Playfield? Oh my God, I've forgotten where they do their wrestling arena or whatnot. That's where normally they accommodate us. It's open area. So I said,
So people sleep in the open? That's what?
exactly. So I just said,
It was like a campfire?
that's where they did do their dancing and whatnot. So I said, let me take a room with some 6 colleagues or 7, we were 6 or 7 in number.
And for all officers who wanted to have better accommodation, sleep in a hotel, in the hotel, instead of the open air or the tents, they'd have to pay for their hotel room.
Yes, that time I paid, but like the compound next to him, Siaka Bojang's compound, normally I do stay there because Siaka together with Yaya's young elder brother were all brought up by my grandfather. So
it's like that wasn't your first time going, was it?
no, that's why I said the last time we stayed there, because Siaka is a clearing agent and a relative to him. So when I was going and I needed more people to help me, bail me out, I said, Kale, ñu dem ñu jël hotel.
Okay. How many times have you been to Kanilai?
I think 3 times.
Well, were all those 3 times to go and farm for Jami?
Yes, all three were to go and farm.
Did you ever farm?
As I said earlier, I have never. I don't even know how to.
So you go there and
Just a
present
passenger.
yourself and...
Just a passenger in a vehicle.
All right. Okay. So when were you arrested?
Was it on the 1st? Oh, sorry. Let me move back. Thank you. Was it on the 1st or the 2nd of September?
But it happened after you returned from Kanilai.
Exactly. Actually, I thought I was going to be arrested in Kanilai, but they did not. So when we came home, I packed my bag, took shower, was eating, then they came.
Who came?
The NIA.
Do you recall who?
Something Dabo. He called me with a QCell number and said, Vero, Yansi Keriwe. I said, Yola can hame uma number B. He said, Wachasil, denye jilsi. I said, oh, you have finally come. Wait, let me eat. I'll come down. Then he said, no, come now. I said, Hana duma leka. So I just left the food there, came down, because I tried to see whether there's a vehicle, but I couldn't. So I came downstairs and went to the gate. I saw a wine-colored tinted vehicle. He said, "Nyuwan them." I told him, I have to get my bag because I've packed my bag already. As a lady, I need some things that I should go with. He said, I told him, why would I run? Why would I run? He refused. So I just locked the gate and followed him.
Without your go bag?
I didn't go back till 28 or 29.
No, without your go bag.
Yeah, the bag, he left. They refused me the bag.
How did you feel when he refused you to take the bag?
I mean, it was inhumane of him because, I mean, as a lady, you need some things you should go with, and knowing that I will stay there long.
How did you know you were going to stay there long?
Hey, Esa, fi Banjul la.
Tell us about it.
Somebody told me that, I mean, you were arrested once, twice, but this one won't be easy. So I said, wow.
When were you told that?
Was it, I think, a week or so?
Before or into your detention?
Before. So I told Mari Ndur, She's a police officer, head of, that time, Western Division. So I told her, Marie, they said they will arrest me, and this time it won't be easy. They want to give Alaji Conte my chair, and Alaji doesn't fit in that chair.
But you would agree that all this is speculation. Maybe, excuse me, sir, could you possibly push it forward so that she would be comfortable?
Yeah, I think you want to lay it on the table. That's why I make it.
No, just push it a little. Okay, all right, okay.
Thank you.
Good. Your suggestion that your seat was going to be, the plan was to give it to Alaji Conte, that was just speculation, wasn't it?
Exactly, that was.
It was speculation. Good. So, and then when they subsequently arrested you, you had it in your mind that you are going to be detained for long. That's what you had.
Yes, I had it in my mind that, like, I would not be detained at the NIA, but at the police. So I told Marie, man, luma ginal, fake dañ ma detain, buñ ma baye NIA, dañ ma baye police fi, at least my family nañ mëna ñew dima isil leka ak luma soxla yang fi.
But this was just at the time you were expecting that you would be arrested, correct?
It was imminent.
It was imminent. Okay. But the article that was written, was there any allegation of criminal conduct on your part?
Nothing whatsoever.
But nonetheless, you thought at the time that you would still be arrested.
Because Yaya was erratic. And I mean...
Could you say again?
I said Yaya was erratic. And I mean, the family...
What do you mean by that? Could you break it down for us? Yaya was erratic. Break it down for us.
Counsel, like the family that my mother comes from, my grandfather, brought them up.
Brought
Kukoi,
who up?
Them. When I say them, I mean the Jolas. Like Kukoi, plus his elder brother, Peter Lamin Sanyang. This Siaka I am talking, who lives next door to him in Kanilai. Benedict Jame, David Coley. All of them, they live in a compound at Dobson Street. So, I mean, instead of saying thank you to my grandfather or whatnot, the first thing that Kukoi did was to come to our compound with a gun during the coup. The same applied to Yaya.
That is what was 81, right?
Exactly. The same too with Yaya when he came to power. What did he do? He arrested me in 96 or 98 to come after my grandfather's property or whatnot, together with my mother's property, together with my properties, passing through Joint Officers Mess Act.
But you do agree that in 1998 there was a commission of inquiry with regards to assets.
Yes.
Okay. And that is the commission of inquiry in which you participated in,
yes.
Correct? Mm-hmm. And the commission of inquiry exonerated you, correct?
Exactly.
And you were reinstated to your job, correct?
Exactly.
And you were paid all the monies that you were due,
exactly.
Correct? All the salaries were paid back.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the anguish of going through the commission of inquiry, the government owe you nothing, correct?
Exactly.
And you are satisfied with the settlement?
Yes.
Okay, good. So then that one shouldn't be a problem, correct?
Exactly.
Good. So now, with regards to this particular arrest, you were expecting that an arrest was imminent. They came for you, somebody called Dabo. He wouldn't let you take your go back, and he whisked you away. Take it from there and tell us what happened afterwards.
So when I insisted on taking my bag, he said no. I went. I slept there that night because it was around 6, 7.
When you arrived at the NIA,
They booked me.
which premises did they take you?
GPMB, Marina Parade.
Yes, but did they process you in somehow?
Yeah, they booked me in their diary, took my mobile, took my details, then they told me, Demal talk Philly.
Where was Fele?
Their hall. It's an open hall.
Did they tell you what you were being taken there for?
They did not. That same day, they did not.
Did they give you the opportunity to talk to a lawyer?
They did not.
Did they give you an opportunity to speak to a family member?
No, they did not.
They just let you stay there?
Exactly.
And did they provide you with a bed, a sleeping place, and somewhere to sleep, something to sleep on?
No, it was it Sabali? The then Secretary General. He's Usman. Oh.
The Sabali who was Secretary General was called Momodu?
Exactly. He was the one that found me sitting and said, hey, ñi duñ la bàyyi fii de kaay ma arrange la room bi nga fanaan fa. I told him fanaan. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Let's try to understand this. You mean the Secretary General came
Exactly.
to the NIA premises?
No, he was arrested too.
He was arrested too.
Ay fofu dafa neexoon de.
Ah.
ñun ñu fa nekkoon ñun ñu tombé woon ñu nekk foofu ñun ñu bari la woon. He was there. He was the one that told me, these people, I doubt whether they leave you here. 1 hour, 2 hours, they didn't release you.
Okay.
Come, take this room.
Veronica, I was thinking that perhaps maybe to capture some of what you were saying, you can speak in Wolof, and then we can have interpretation in English if you so wish.
Oh. Let me try and continue in English.
Okay. All right. It's your choice. It's your testimony. So at that time, you said fofu dafa neexoon ñun ñu bari la woon. Who and who was there?
Myself, Sabali, 5 other prison wardens, Jata,
Jata who?
Police officer, crime management, CMC or whatnot, at Keraba police station, together with the Alcalo's son, Burfoot, Pa Khalifa Sano's son, I've forgotten his name, together with the one that sells his hats, Tamberu. They call him Rossi because he was a footballer. We were there all together.
How many females?
How many? I was the only one.
Did they segregate you?
No.
You had?
At night, one of them will come and tell me, this is the room that they gave me. Now come and sleep. I'll come and sleep in the hall. Then you will come and sleep inside the room since you are a lady.
And it was your fellow detainees who were according you that courtesy?
Exactly.
Good. And when Momodu Sabali told you that ñii duñ la bàyyi léegi de,
Exactly.
kaay fii, how did you feel at the time receiving such help?
I thanked him for the generosity, but not going to sleep at home too was something mixed feeling though.
So what happened subsequently?
I slept.
And the following day?
I think I had a knock on the door, then I opened. Then somebody tapped me and said, can them invest? Let's go to invest, meaning their investigation. I said, no problem, let's go. So when we went to investigation unit, I found Liz who was the then deputy director. He died.
Deputy Director of where?
NIA, Liz, together with the one that escorted me, Keba Seka.
Do you know Lisa's full name?
Liz, I think he's Edward Louis or Louis Edward, but I think Louis is the middle name.
What was his last name?
Gomez, he was the deputy director.
Louis
NIA.
Gomez?
Yes, Louis. But we call him Liz, but he's Louis. So we went. When Keba handed me over to him, I told him, "Hi, Liz Yola. God, no problem, let's go." We went, then they started questioning me based on this.
And you gave a statement?
Yes, I gave a statement to them.
During the interview, during the interrogation, did they do anything to you?
They did not, just that I think they were recording me, because when they were talking, they brought out a metal, grayish metal something. I asked him, "Dangma tape," but he didn't say anything. I told him, "Bulma tape. Don't tape me, don't record me. Write down my statement, but don't record me." But, he continued.
Apart from recording you, did they do anything which you felt was offensive?
Like, when I went back to the room where they locked me,
Mr. Chair, may we call for the morning break earlier than usual, 10 minutes earlier, just to afford us the opportunity to let the witness recuperate.
Yeah, that's all right. We can take the break now and come back at 12 noon. Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.